So I believe that Hyundai has way too many SUVs and crossovers. This is a 2020 Hyundai Santa Fe, but they had the Santa Fe, Tucson, Palisade, Kona. I want to take a look at it because this is a great looking vehicle. If you are not familiar with Hyundai SUVs, I mean, they used to pop like 10 years ago. This is a really good looking SUV, but I just wonder how they can keep up with so many models of SUVs and crossovers and still make a traditional number of cars. A lot of manufacturers are going away from cars. This is another Kia Santa Fe. This is a little bit of an older one. It's a couple years older. And this is another 2020. So, I mean, the styling goes past the trim in this particular vehicle. So we'll start back here. It does not have an automatic tailgate, but this is a good amount of space. And this does sit up a little bit. And like I said, I wanted to, take a look at this SUV because I think it's dope. I don't know how good a quality it is, but down here you have some space for things. Like you could put some tools and things down here. I like that there's usable space here. Here, there's a ton of usable space. I like that. So I'm guessing it doesn't have a spare tire or it's under the vehicle. So it is under the vehicle. And you don't have dual exhaust. I would like that in this vehicle, but I get this is like not an economy car, but this isn't like an upscale model like the Palisade. But yeah, very good, very usable space. If I had a family of 4, this would be a great size of an SUV. I like the back. I mean, it looks like most other modern SUVs, so you really can't complain. I like this gray matte plastic down here. It just protects the paint. When you have body colored bumpers and side skirts, I mean, they get scratched up and damaged over the years. So I like the gray here. I mean, the wheels are a traditional style. Again, this is not a luxury SUV. These are going to be 17. So that's a good size for this vehicle. It probably has a comfortable ride. We'll go ahead and hop into the back seat. I mean, this is pretty straightforward here, but it looks good. I mean, this is hard touch. This is soft touch. But you have to think about it. You're going to have kids getting in and out of this, people potentially spilling stuff, sticky hands. So hard surfaces are easy to wipe off. So that's very, very practical, pragmatic approach. Love that you have the VIN right there on a sticker. That's interesting. Stepping in, it's a little bit of a step in height, which I like. A lot of crossovers sit like cars, which to me kind of makes them a little bit more pointless. But you don't have a mat pocket back here, which is fine. Who uses those? You have a nice, good size amount of vents back here. You have a little cubby here. You can put your phone and charge it right here. These are USB, which is great. I love that. I don't know why we still use those cigarette style lighter charge ports, but I digress. You do have a mat pocket back here, and I like the hard back on these seats. Again, when you have people kicking the seats, kids potentially punching it, could have markers and stuff. This is easy to wipe off and keep clean, and it's harder to scratch unless you have something metal. So some people say it's scratchy. I think it's practical, and I like it. The doors close solidly in this vehicle. Here is a look at the cabin from this back seat. Pretty traditional layout, but still classy. This is a very, very functional and intentional SUV. The seats feel comfortable. They're cloth. This is easy to clean off. I like the styling. They don't look basic. I like the different colors on the door. That keeps it from looking too boring. You do have incandescent lighting in here, but this is a 2020. That's fine. It goes with the beige interior. I like that. You have good leg room back here. The footwell is great. But yeah, I mean, this is a nice SUV. I like the trim here on this window switch, and this feels tactile. I feel like Hyundai's SUVs hold up a bit better than their cars. Stepping into the front seat, this is soft touch. I like this faux carbon fiber thing here. This is soft touch. This is hard touch. I like the silver trim here. You have an electronic mirror. Your door unlock is here. Speakers right there. Have a nice cubby for drinks and whatnot. Stepping in, you do have lane keep assist here, which is awesome. Obviously, you have traction control. You know, I'm not mad at this readout. You know, it gives you the information that you need. You know what this vehicle is, and it's very straightforward. Really, this vehicle would appeal to any age. Like, you could be in college, you could be a teenager, you could be a parent, you could be a single person, 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70. Your grandparents can step up into this. The step up height is not too bad. This is very straightforward. I mean, this screen isn't the largest, but it's at a good eye level right here, so you don't have to look off too much to see what's going on here. The buttons and layout are very, very straightforward. Same thing here. I mean, I love how simple these are. You might say these feel a little bit cheap. I don't mind the design and the look, but when you touch this, this does feel cheap. I would probably like for them to put $1.50, $3 more and just add it to the price and give me something that feels like it's gonna hold up for 10 years. You do have a USB charge port here. This is USB in and aux for, you know, audio. And then you have this pointless port in here. I guess if your grandfather hands you down some old accessories, you can use it there. I like this dash. I don't know if there's a sub in here, but I like the design here. This is hard touch. This is soft touch. I like that the dash looks modern. I like that this is almost hexagonal. I love the trim here. This looks very modern, very classy. That sounds really smooth. Overall, you know, this is a nice SUV, well thought out. This little cubby here with the lip here is very practical to put your phone and keys if you want to leave them. You know, I used to complain when people would get out of my car and they put their keys in here, or they leave a phone or something in here that might make somebody want to break a window. So I think it's dope that you have this where it's recessed and you can kind of hide things. We'll go ahead and pop the trunk, the hood, excuse me. And see what we're working with. The door feels heavy, it feels strong. You know, these are alloy wheels, aluminum alloy, so that's dope. And the paint really pops on this vehicle. And you have a nice amount of grille in this front end. And I love that you have the fog lights and the speakers these fog lights and turn signal lights in the front, kind of behind this lens. That looks super dope. You know, there's something to be said about styling, making a vehicle look more upscale than it is, and I feel like Hyundai accomplishes that. I love that you have struts here. You do have a GDI engine. You got a little 4-banger in here. So honestly, to me, this is one of their more trustworthy engines. I know people say Hyundai Kia engines go out, but this is a 2.4 liter 4-cylinder direct injection engine. You're not going to get away from direct injection, but you have plenty of space here. It sits a little bit recessed. You can change the coils and you can change the spark plugs. It looks like your starter's back here. Coolant reservoir is here. Windshield wiper reservoir is here. Obviously, that is going to be an engine mount. Your battery is right here. Air intake is right here. Yeah, and to change your air filter, that's all you have to do. That is a very, very well designed piece. If I can get it back on. Yeah, I really like that. That is a fuse box there. And I like that this thing has struts. Yeah, no complaints. I mean, to me, this is going to be a safer Hyundai vehicle. Like, the resale is not going to be great. So the fact that this is discontinued isn't going to scare me. You know, I would 100% consider buying this if I had like a family or something like that. It's comfortable. The doors feel good. Initial quality does not feel bad at all. And this is metallic paint. I like that you have this guard here, this little paint guard, because that part always wears away pretty fast, or faster than the other parts. This doesn't have a sunroof, but it doesn't matter. All in all, a solid option. A nice size mirror, and you have a light here, so that's awesome. And honestly, I didn't even realize this was a keyed ignition, but it's just odd you have an electronic parking brake and a keyed ignition. But you know what, I'll take it.